With the controversial ending to the Fever vs. Liberty game, many WNBA fans are calling out the referee problem, and they are demanding answers and they are demanding change.
The WNBA just made its most desperate move yet, suspending 3 referees after months of allowing Caitlin Clark to be treated like a human punching bag. But don't mistake this for a bold stand for fairness. It's a clear sign of panic. The league is watching its billion-dollar star take relentless abuse while officials stand by and do nothing. Now, with their backs against the wall, they're scrambling to save face. For weeks, fans have erupted as Caitlin Clark endured elbows to the ribs, WWE-style takedowns, and blatant fouls that would have triggered ejections in rec leagues. The breaking point? A staggering 31 free throw discrepancy and a last second. Robbery against the Fever, where Clark was literally tackled with no call. Now, the WNBA is scrambling to do damage control, but fans aren't buying it. It's too little, way too late. The rating slide says it all. Smash that like button if you're tired of the WNBA's hypocrisy, and subscribe, because we're just getting started exposing the truth.
Win the game, and Natasha Cloud steals over Debbie Antonelli, Tiffany Blackman.
The game that shattered the WNBA's illusion. Let's break down the moment that exposed the league's hypocrisy. Seconds left. Fever down by 2. The ball is in Caitlin Clark's hands. This was supposed to be her signature. Welcome to the WNBA dagger. Instead, Natasha Cloud grabs her jersey, shoves her at the hip, and flat out mauls her through the shot. The refs, dead silent. The replay was so outrageous, even Stephen A. Smith nearly exploded on live TV. But wait, it gets worse. Just moments earlier, Dijonai Carrington clobbered Nalissa Smith on a wide-open layup. No whistle. Then, in a sick joke, Lexi Hull was hit with a phantom foul on Sabrina Ionescu, a play that never even happened. The result? A free trip to the line and a gift-wrapped win for the Liberty. The fix wasn't just in. It was bold-faced and undeniable.
I thought she got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing. That it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't gone both ways.
And Coach Stephanie White? She walked into that press room like she was storming the Bastille. Her post-game rant about the league's rigged system should be playing on a loop outside WNBA headquarters. A 31 free throw gap? That's not bad officiating. That's a system engineered to handicap Caitlin Clark. And now, the injury that finally exposed the WNBA's dirty little secret to the world. Then, disaster. Caitlin Clark goes down with a quad strain, ending her Iron Woman streak after 8 straight years without missing a game. But here's what turns it from bad luck into a full-blown scandal. The league saw it coming. Leaked. Footage showed Clark wrapping her leg in heating pads for weeks. Fans were tweeting about her limping through timeouts. Doctors now estimate the injury dates all the way back to preseason. They knew. And they let it happen anyway.
Officiating in the WNBA became as hot button of an issue as any. Heated debates surrounding the league's physicality dominated the headlines, particularly when Indiana Fever star rookie Caitlin Clark was subject to several intentional fouls.
And still, the WNBA let her get ragdolled night after night Until snap, their golden goose was broken. The financial fallout? Historic Clark vs. Reese rematch tickets crashed from $1,370 to just $80 overnight. TV ratings without her, down to $394,000, a 67% nosedive. Hotels near fever games, ghost towns. The league bet everything on Caitlin Clark, then left her to get mauled. Now they're paying the price. That $75 million practice facility? Now it looks like the world's most expensive white elephant. And the league's sudden concern for player safety? Don't make me laugh. They had one job: protect the superstar who was saving their league. And they failed. Now, the chickens are coming home to roost, and the WNBA is facing the storm it created.
With how Angel Reese reacted. Okay. But it's objectively clear she did overreact. I got an issue with everybody overreacting to Angel Reese's overreaction. I'll tell you that much. Everybody overreacting to Angel's overreaction. I got no issue with how Angel reacted. But she overreacted. We know she overreacted because she knows.
This goes far beyond a few bad calls. We're talking institutional sabotage. Former NBA referee Mick McCutcheon dropped a bombshell. WNBA officials aren't calling the game. They're puppets taking orders from a shadowy competition committee, made up of executives and stakeholders. The whole system is rigged from the top down.
Taking it too far. A couple things. First of all, if you're old enough to remember the old Magic Johnson, Larry Bird rivalry, this could be great for the sport to sort of have two good teams, two great players. But I think Reese really has enmity toward this person, and I don't understand why. I think Caitlin Clark.
These suits have been quietly pushing a dangerous agenda, ramping up physicality, and letting defenders maul Caitlin Clark to manufacture fake rivalries and drama. Let that sink in. The systematic targeting of Clark wasn't accidental. It was mandated. Referees were literally trained to ignore fouls against her, turning WNBA games into glorified street fights where the league's golden goose was treated like a tackling dummy. The smoking gun? The league office had hundreds of hours of footage showing Clark getting assaulted play after play. They saw the heating pads taped to her injured quad during timeouts. They read the flood of fan complaints, and yet they did nothing. Until Clark's body finally gave out, and their precious revenue stream started drying up.
About the referees who were refereeing the Fever and Liberty game, that one of the referees seems like his only experience was
Now, 3 rookie refs are taking the fall as sacrificial lambs. While the true architects of this disaster, the committee members and executives who created this toxic environment, keep collecting paychecks behind closed doors. This isn't just negligence. It's borderline criminal mismanagement of the league's most valuable asset.
Bending, Clark trying to create some airspace. Long three at the horn. Oh! Caitlin Clark rising from the ashes here in Indiana with an 8-point lead.
What makes this even more disgusting is the timing. After decades of begging for mainstream relevance, the WNBA finally gets its Michael Jordan moment with Caitlin Clark, only to actively encourage her destruction. The same league that plastered Clark's face on every billboard suddenly decided basketball should be played like rugby the moment she stepped on the court.
Ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they tried. People believe what we say on television. Just because people don't like you or your personality, they can't get on TV and slander you. It's just total bullshit.
And don't think for a second this was about initiation or paying dues. No other rookie in league history has faced this level of sanctioned violence. This was about jealous veterans and petty executives who couldn't stand that a 22-year-old was outshining their failed system. The financial freefall the WNBA tried desperately to ignore.
To games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement. An average ticket price of $137. all the way down to $80.
The numbers don't lie. The WNBA is facing a financial meltdown of historic proportions. Since Clark went down, Fever Sky ticket prices crashed 42% overnight. And that was just the start. Hotels near Gainbridge Fieldhouse are reporting 60% vacancy rates for upcoming games. Merchandise sales have plummeted so sharply, Fever fans actually paused production on Fever gear.
League. Like, sick league here. I'm trying to watch this game, right? Sick league. Bucket here. Fever suck without 3-point game, 1:15 on the clock. Oh, Fever, by the way. Caitlin's gonna win the MVP.
The betting markets tell the most damning story. Clark's MVP odds plummeted from 150 favorite to Plalo's 210 underdog in just 48 hours. The steepest drop in WNBA history. Meanwhile, the league's TV partners are quietly panicking. ESPN is already discussing contingency plans to flex out of Fever games if Clark's absence stretches beyond a month. This financial implosion exposes a truth the WNBA never wanted to admit. Caitlin Clark was their business model. The Clark effect wasn't just real. It was the only thing keeping the league relevant. Those record-breaking 2.7 million viewers for the Clark-Reese game? Gone. The 51% surge in Indiana tourism website traffic after Clark was drafted? Vanished. Without her, the league's momentum disappeared overnight.
Maddie Kenny with the New York Post. With Unrivaled, the announcement that Paige Beckers is going to get a 3-year deal with them. In the first year of that, she's going to make more than what she's going to make in her entire rookie salary. I guess I'm just curious, what was your reaction to hearing that? And how does knowing the salaries that players are getting paid in a startup league that lasts only 10 weeks is better than a league that's been around for over 20 years?
Yeah, I think first of all,
Even corporate sponsors are getting cold feet. Several major brands are reportedly reconsidering their WNBA partnerships after watching engagement metrics tank without Clark. The league's dirty little secret is out. They built their entire growth strategy around one player, then failed to protect their billion-dollar investment. What makes this financial disaster so infuriating is how easily it could have been avoided. This wasn't some complicated salary cap or broadcast rights issue. It was as simple as instructing referees to call obvious fouls. The WNBA's own analytics showed Clark was getting fouled on 78% of her drives without a call, a rate that would make even prime Shaq.
Clark trying to create some airspace. Long three at the horn. Rising from the ashes here in the York. Clark step and draws the foul. Welcome back, Caitlin Clark for Brazil. Wow! You bet from beyond the logo.
Instead of adjusting, the league doubled down on their let them play nonsense, until their cash cow literally couldn't play anymore. Now, they're facing the ultimate irony. The physical play they encouraged to manufacture drama has created the worst possible storyline. Their most marketable star is stuck watching from the bench, while arenas slowly empty out.
Okay, here she is. We're headed to the Fever game.
Fever dream game.
I gotta go to the back. Oh my gosh. If she doesn't get down on the floor.
The only jerseys I don't have is KK's and Bree Turner's and Dante.
Fans are furious, and they should be. The fan revolt happening right now isn't just anger. It's a full-blown reckoning with the WNBA's arrogance. For months, the league gaslit its growing fan base, dismissing real concerns about Clark's treatment as new fans, not understanding the physicality of the pro game. Well, guess what? Those new fans were the ones buying $300 tickets, tuning in by the millions, and finally making the WNBA profitable for the first time in decades. Now, those same fans are turning their backs in droves, flooding social media with Tobos, boycott WNBA hashtags, and canceling League Pass subscriptions by the thousands. Even NBA superstars like LeBron James and Draymond Green have joined the outcry, calling the treatment of Clark disgraceful and a bad look for basketball.
It seems like a lot of them are kind of being told what to do. There are other people pulling the strings above them. So by no means do I want you to take this video and use it too.
The league's tone-deaf response has only poured gasoline on the fire. Instead of genuine accountability, we got a meek 3-referee suspension announced in a Tuesday morning press release, buried on their website. No apology to Clark. No acknowledgement of their systemic failure.
Hate, a league-wide platform to combat hate and harassment both online and in our arenas. The WNBA's Code of Conduct has a zero-tolerance policy for discrimination or hate speech of any kind. Violation can result in guests being removed and even prevented from attending future games. So we ask each of you to join us. Show up with respect.
Just 3 low-level officials thrown under the bus, while Commissioner Kathy Engelbert continues her victory lap as if nothing happened. Fans aren't stupid. They see this for what it is, a pathetic attempt at damage control that fails to address the toxic culture that created this mess in the first place.
You're a college player, and you're a great college player, like Caitlin was. The delusional fan base that follows her disrespected the WNBA players by saying she's going to go in that league and tear it apart. There were actually odds on she's 3rd or 4th in betting odds on being MVP at the WNBA. These people are so disrespectful and so unknowledgeable and so stupid that it gives women's basketball a bad name. Okay, so the kid was set up for failure right from the beginning. So if you're a WNBA...
What's emerging is a cultural civil war within the WNBA ecosystem. On one side, the old guard, players, coaches, and executives who resent Clark's meteoric rise and the new fans she brought with her. On the other, a passionate new generation of supporters who see right through the league's hypocrisy. This isn't just about basketball anymore. It's about whether the WNBA will embrace progress or cling to the petty, self-destructive mentality that kept it irrelevant for 25 years. The terrifying reality for league executives, they may have already lost this battle, because once trust is broken this completely, it's nearly impossible to repair.
I thought you got fouled. I think it's pretty egregious what's been happening to us the last few games. A minus 31 free throw discrepancy. And I might be able to understand it if we were just chucking threes, but we're not. We're attacking the rim. And the disrespect right now for our team has been pretty unbelievable. So it's disappointing, that it doesn't go both ways, or it hasn't.
Coach Stephanie White's viral rant exposed the WNBA's dirty secrets. She didn't just step to the podium, she detonated it. In a press conference that'll go down in WNBA history, the Fever coach unleashed fury, calling out the league's shameless double standards with the voice of someone who'd finally had enough. That 31 free throw discrepancy? She called it what it was, egregious and indefensible. The refs' refusal to protect her players? An unbelievable disrespect to the Edom, franchise in the sport.
Here comes Mitchell, back the other way. Pressing, crossing, getting to the goal. And Mitchell slow to get up, but she is on her feet, quickly back the other way. Olsen, 3.
But the knockout punch came when she exposed the league's so-called grievance system as a complete farce. A black hole where complaints disappear, while the league pretends everything's fine. Most coaches bite their tongues to avoid 6-figure fines. But White? She refused to stay silent. She went full scorched earth. Consequences be damned. And you know why fans are calling it the most important presser in WNBA history? Because for the first time, a high-profile figure said the quiet part out loud. This isn't just bad officiating. It's a rigged system designed to keep certain teams down.
It is. Like, we all know, everybody who's been a part of a team, everybody who's won championships, everybody who's been a part of growing something special knows that a lot of things have to fall in line for you to win a championship. They do. That's why it's so...
The fallout was instant. Clips of White's rant racked up 12 million views in 24 hours. NBA stars like Kevin Durant and Damian Lillard quote-tweeted it with fire emojis. Even politicians jumped in, with senators demanding transparency from the league. But here's the real kicker. The WNBA's PR team, usually quick to clap back at critics, went completely silent. No rebuttal.
That being like for both Caitlin and for the entire franchise.
I anticipate it being a little crazy. I think it's going to be exciting. I don't know. Back in the day when I was playing here, we played an exhibition at Purdue. And I remember it was so cool for me to be able to play for the Fever in Mackey Arena. And I can imagine it's going to be equally as cool for Caitlin to go back.
No spin, just cowardly silence. Because White had them cornered with facts they couldn't dispute. The most damning moment. When she revealed Fever's staff had submitted 17 documented complaints about biased officiating this season. With zero response from the league. Not even a courtesy, we'll look into it. That's not negligence, that's complicity.
Too strong on a three. Clark pushes Angel.
Now the league's scrambling to contain the damage, but it's too late. White's presser ripped off the mask, exposing the WNBA's dirty little secret. They've been gaslighting fans and players for years. And the fans? They're rallying behind White like she's the league's last honest voice.
During this game, obviously, for me as a little kid, like, it's a very full circle moment for myself. Like, I'm getting to live out my dream and play in the WNBA and be in the arena when they're retiring her jersey. Somebody that's, done so much for this league, done so much for, just society in the world. Like, she's a great individual, a great person, and obviously getting to meet with her at the end of my college season was really cool too.
Jersey sales for the Fever coach spiked 800% overnight. A Change.org petition demanding her promotion to VP of League Integrity hit 100K signatures within hours. The message is clear. The people are done with the lies. Thanks to White's courage, the WNBA can no longer pretend everything's fine.
Too strong on a three. Look out, Caitlin Clark pushes Angel, gets right up in it.
How the WNBA's greed spectacularly backfired. The league wanted rivalries and drama. And they got it, but at what cost? Clark's injury exposed the ugly truth. The WNBA was willing to sacrifice its biggest star for short-term buzz. Now they're left with empty arenas and plummeting ratings. Even ESPN is sweating. 21 of their 24 WNBA broadcasts featured Clark because she moves the needle. Without her, the league is right back to irrelevance. And the saddest part, the players, especially. Clark, pay the price for the league's incompetence. Sound off in the comments.
Response to that specifically?
Yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think, everybody in our world, deserves the same amount of respect. The women in our league deserve the same amount of respect. So people should not be using my name to push those agendas. It's disappointing. It's not acceptable. But yeah.
Fired. Could Clark's injury have been prevented? Drop your hot takes below. Share this with every sports fan you know, and subscribe for the uncensored coverage the WNBA fears is this a long overdue reckoning. Or just another hollow PR stunt? Should more refs be